You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. In today's episode, we are going to tackle a topic that affects many Texas churches, and that is how to find affordable insurance solutions for small churches. David pastors a church in Lubbock. He's faithful, steady, and deeply committed to his staff and congregation. On this particular afternoon, he was staring at the proposed 2026 budget spread across his desk. The numbers were tight everywhere. Utilities were up. Programming costs were up. In addition, his children's director is asking for a raise just to keep pace with the cost of living. As David started feeling the stress of these numbers, he scrolled down to the largest non-payroll expense on the page. He saw what was taking the largest part of the budget. It was the church's property insurance. It was massive, and liability insurance wasn't far behind. If he could somehow bring those numbers down, the budget would finally make more sense. So he did what many pastors and finance chairs are doing right now. He searched online for affordable church insurance in Texas. The results came fast. One quote in particular jumped off the screen: thousands of dollars cheaper than their current renewal. David was relieved that he may have found the solution. The next night, David proudly presented the new number to the finance committee. Heads nodded. Relief filled the room. And then Bill spoke up. Bill was the church treasurer, a retired commercial builder, 40 years of experience putting roofs on Texas buildings. He asked to see the rest of the pages of the proposal. He flipped through the policy, reading quietly. Then his finger stopped on an endorsement. Alarmed, he announced the information to the committee. The policy capped the roof coverage at $100,000. This caused David to frown and ask for clarification. Bill explained that if a hailstorm hit the church next week, this policy would not replace the roof. The insurance company would write a check for $100,000, and the church would have to pay the rest of the roof replacement on their own. That's when the room went silent. Suddenly, the affordable policy wasn't affordable at all. It was a gamble, one that could leave the church on the hook for a six-figure repair bill. What almost happened to David's church is happening all over Texas right now. The church insurance market is softening in 2026. Rates are stabilizing. Capacity is returning. That's good news, but it's also dangerous news. Some carriers are chasing market share by cutting coverage instead of improving value. They're offering low premiums by adding roof, sublimits, exclusions, managed repair programs, and reduced claim payouts. Cheap insurance will be the most expensive thing your church buys if it doesn't cover what you need. So how do you actually find an insurance plan your church can afford without sacrificing protection? It starts with understanding this truth. Affordability is not about price. It's about sustainability. First, you need to market your church, not just quote it. Most generalist agents treat churches like statistics: zip code, square footage, done. A church insurance specialist does something different. We tell your story to the underwriter. We highlight your maintenance records, your clean claims history, your financial discipline, your updated electrical systems, your stewardship. In 2026, carriers are actively looking for preferred risk churches, but you only get those credits if someone knows how to position you properly. Second, real affordability comes from financial engineering, not coverage cuts. Cutting building values is reckless. Removing liability coverage is dangerous. Instead, we analyze your cash reserves and risk tolerance. If your church can handle a higher wind and hail deductible, we may raise it strategically to lower your premium without exposing you to catastrophic loss. We remove unused fluff coverage you're paying for but don't need. We make sure every dollar of premium is buying actual protection. This is math, not guesswork. Finally, we seek stability, not teaser rates. Some carriers are offering unsustainably low first-year premiums just to get your church on the books. Then they hammer you with massive increases at renewal. That volatility destroys church budgets. True affordability means predictable costs. A carrier committed to Texas churches for the long haul. A policy that lets your finance committee plan more than 12 months ahead. Pastor David learned that lesson before it was too late. Instead of chasing the cheapest quote, he called us. We ran a full risk assessment, restructured deductibles to match reality, and found a carrier willing to insure the roof properly at a price the church could sustain. If you want that same kind of care, connect with our church insurance team at insurancefortexans.com. And if you would like to better understand church insurance, get a copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, church insurance isn't just about policies. It's about sustainable protection.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.